I guess our team just wanted to know sort of what was your personal favorite feature that made it into this release?
I think for me, probably lazy loading. I think that the router and lazy loading, like if you know the history of Angular 2, the router has been really hard. It's something that it took us a while to get right. It took us a couple of iterations to get right. But I am super, super stoked about where it landed. And I think that I think it's just incredible. I think it's super easy to use. And the stuff that we do today, we can do lazy loading and, as Stephen said, optimistic preloading, all that good stuff. And that's just the beginning, right? I think there's a huge amount we'll be able to do. So the router, for me, is probably the coolest feature.
I would actually agree with Rob. I mean, lazy loading has been like this dream for years where it's like, oh yeah, only load the code you need when you need it. But it's been a virtual impossibility for me as a developer to do that because it's just a ton of work. And the fact that the framework kind of just takes care of it now, I mean, with our Webpack plugin where it will split your bundle appropriately and things like that, it kind of blew my mind, and it still blows my mind every day, the fact that this just works.
I wrote that code and it still blows my mind, right? Like,
so I said this at Angular Connect in the keynote, and I remember the day that I found my favorite feature because I was pretty new to the Angular team, and I kept coming in on Mondays after writing code, and it was the first time I had actually succeeded in actually rendering an app. And I was all excited, and then Igor said, well, you know that you don't just have to render to HTML. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he pointed me to Matthias's, who is one of our engineers, blog post about how Angular 2 has swappable renders. And this excited me, probably not as exciting for Rob or Steven, but I used to be a back-end server-side developer, right? And so a lot of what I've done in my past is not necessarily from a web browser perspective. So I was super stoked to hear that Angular 2 is flexible enough that we can render where there is no DOM. And we've done some projects. I might blank on the project that we worked on. Drupal, and things like that, where we can actually do things outside of just a web browser. So that's my favorite feature.